Bible Study Script KJV, Genesis chapter 37, verses 1 through 36. Today we turn to Genesis, chapter 37, verses 1 through 36 in the King James Version. This chapter marks a significant transition in the book of Genesis. From Abraham to Isaac, from Isaac to Jacob, and now from Jacob to Joseph, God's covenant story continues. Genesis 37 is not merely the story of a young dreamer betrayed by his brothers. It is the beginning of God's hidden providence unfolding through suffering. Let us begin. 1. Historical and covenant context. Genesis 37 begins with these words, "And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan." Genesis chapter 37, verses 1, KJV. Jacob has returned to Canaan after years in Padan Aram. His name has been changed to Israel after wrestling with God in Genesis 32. He has reconciled with Esau in Genesis 33. Now he settles in the land promised to Abraham. But the covenant promise is not yet fulfilled. The family is still small. The land is not yet possessed. The nation has not yet formed. Spiritually speaking, this is a season of transition. God often prepares nations through individuals, and he often prepares individuals through trials. Joseph now enters the stage. 2. Joseph, the chosen vessel. Verse 3 says, "Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, and he made him a coat of many colors." Joseph was the son of Rachel, Jacob's beloved wife. This favoritism created division within the family. The Hebrew word for coat of many colors likely refers to a long-sleeved royal garment symbolizing authority or distinction. Spiritually, this coat represents calling. Joseph did not choose the coat. It was given by the Father. Likewise, calling comes from God, not from man. And often, calling provokes jealousy before it produces glory. 3. Dreams and divine revelation. Joseph receives 2 dreams. In the first, his brothers' sheaves bow down to his. In the second, the sun, moon, and 11 stars bow to him. In Hebrew thought, dreams were one of the recognized channels of divine revelation. God speaks through visions, especially in the patriarchal period. Joseph's dreams are prophetic. They are not prideful imagination, they are divine previews. However, Joseph shares them openly, perhaps immaturely. This teaches us something profound. God may reveal destiny early, but fulfillment requires process. Dreams without humility can create conflict, but dreams from God will come to pass even if delayed. 4. Jealousy, hatred, and the broken family. Verse 4 tells us, "They hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him." Hatred begins in comparison. Joseph was favored. He was spiritually perceptive. He reported wrongdoing. These factors inflamed resentment. Sin often escalates quietly. Jealousy becomes hatred. Hatred becomes conspiracy. The brothers first plot to kill him, then Reuben intervenes. Finally, Judah suggests selling him. Notice this carefully. Judah, the very tribe through whom Messiah will come, suggests selling Joseph for silver. Centuries later, another Judas will sell Jesus for silver. Joseph is a type of Christ, beloved of the Father, hated by brethren, stripped of his robe, sold for silver, sent into suffering, yet destined for salvation. This is not coincidence. This is divine foreshadowing. 5. The pit and the providence of God. Joseph is thrown into a pit. The Hebrew word bor means cistern, a dry well. It symbolizes abandonment. Verse 24 says, "And the pit was empty, there was no water in it." Water represents life. Joseph experiences dryness, isolation, betrayal. Yet the pit is not the end. The Ishmaelites arrive at precisely the right time. To human eyes, this is tragedy. To divine perspective, this is orchestration. God is not mentioned explicitly in Genesis 37, but he is present in every movement. Providence is when God works invisibly through visible events. Joseph is not falling apart. He is being positioned. 6. Theological and spiritual insight. Why would God allow his chosen servant to suffer injustice? Because destiny often travels through adversity. Romans chapter 8 verses 28 declares, "All things work together for good to them that love God." Genesis 37 is the seed of that principle. Joseph's suffering will preserve Israel from famine, bring Jacob's family to Egypt, form the context for Exodus, establish the stage for national redemption. One young man's pain becomes a nation's survival. This is divine strategy. God's will is not always comfortable, but it is always purposeful. 7. Application for today. We live in a generation that desires immediate promotion but resists process. Joseph was 17 years old in this chapter. He had dreams but no platform. He had calling but no authority. He had revelation, but no maturity yet. If you feel misunderstood, rejected, or betrayed, Genesis 37 speaks to you. The pit does not cancel the promise. Sometimes God allows betrayal to build character, delay to develop humility, isolation to strengthen dependence. The coat was removed, but the calling was not. People can strip your robe. They cannot remove God's plan. 8. The emotional climax. Jacob believes Joseph is dead. The brothers dip the coat in goat's blood and deceive their father. This deception mirrors Jacob's earlier deception of Isaac. Sin cycles through generations. Yet grace overrules. God's covenant promise does not collapse because of human failure. The story is not over in Genesis 37. It is only beginning. Final spiritual reflection. Genesis 37 teaches us God's promises unfold progressively. Favor may attract opposition. Suffering does not negate destiny. God's providence operates even in silence. What others intend for evil, God intends for good. Joseph cannot see Egypt yet. He only sees the pit, but heaven already sees the palace. Trust the process. Trust the unseen hand of God. And remember, the dream giver is faithful. Thank you.